And good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Olympian Table. And how you doing today,
Oh
James?
man, I can't complain. It's another Wednesday.
Are you living and dreaming?
I'm actually dreaming of next week. I'm going to be gone to celebrate my anniversary. So I want to close out this week so I can get it that much closer
Where are you going to?
to spending time with my lovely bride.
Where are you off to?
We're going to be flying to Miami to cruise to the Dominican Republic. So we're looking forward to that, man.
That'd be cool.
It will be cool. Well, hopefully.
Is it one of
The
these
temperatures-
adults-only tours?
Actually, it's Sir Richard Branson's.
So it's it's the adults-only one.
So he's the one. He's the one. the Virgin Voyages. It's his new cruise line that he's doing. So that's not a plug for Virgin, but that is.
But it is an
what it is.
adults-only thing, isn't it?
It is adults
Yeah.
only. So
I just think
we're
it's
excited.
always ironic, all right, that the name of the company is called Virgin, and he has adults-only stores. But I think it's, that's just my sense of humour.
Well, that's kind of
English humour.
what he does. He puts it out there. As
Yeah.
I understand, it's pretty interesting. The people, the crew that comes. So, we're
It
not
is.
big partiers, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, is there a lot of partying goes on?
Well, yeah, man. When you have just adults, people feel like they can just kind of be free and do whatever. Kind of have that liberty to act a fool. But we shall see.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So what we're going to start with this morning, James.
Oh man, you pick them. Let's
I'll
say
tell you what I'd
pick 'em.
like to start with first. I think Alex Jones would be a good point to start with.
Now, why am I not surprised? You'd either pick him or something about Trump. I'm not
Oh
surprised.
no. But let's talk about all these conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
And let's talk about the freedom of speech. I think the thing that's to be learned from this whole process is, yeah, we've got freedom of speech, but if it's proven that what you say isn't true, there's consequences to it. And that's what I think there is with this, because he's made millions of dollars, which he's tried to hide as well. It's been found that he's been trying to hide millions of dollars. And now they're after him. And now we're supposed to feel sorry for him.
I'm not that sure you feel sorry for him, but I don't think anybody's going to see any parts of that $45 million in punitive damages, much like Johnny Depp's going to see from Amber Heard. It sounds great, but I don't think they'll see any of that.
Why not?
That money? Well, 'cause I'm sure there's limits, depending on whether. I know there's limits in Texas for punitive damages, but I just don't believe that they'll see that money, all of that money, shall I say. They may see some of it. Now, I don't know how much money or even what Alex Jones is even worth, to be quite frankly. But
They
I
reckon
don't know.
he's worth a couple of hundred million.
well,
But getting it to it's one thing.
40, yeah, getting the money, can't get blood out of a turnip. But it's just kind of one of those things where he's always been kind of the conspiracy theorist kind of person. I think more of a shock jock type
Which I
kind of
think is-
person.
I
But
think
I
you oughta-
haven't personally followed him
Absolutely.
or this trial, shall I say?
You have personally followed him.
I have not.
Oh, you have
not.
Okay,
No.
okay. Yeah. And he was there
'Cause
12
they
months
banned
on.
him, right?
What's that?
They banned him from even being on
Some of the
InfoWars.
stations.
They banned all
Uh-huh.
that. Yeah, so he kind of went away for a little bit. So
Yeah. So, and you've said yourself that, freedom of speech is one thing,
it is.
but if you can't back up what you say, then there should be, there should be repercussions. And I think in this case, there are repercussions. I think the family I really was taken aback by the one mother that directly addressed him in court, and what she's said, what she's gone through, and what they've gone through, and some of the death threats that they've had, and because people are into this conspiracy that there were government actors and different things, and that's the part that just blows me away. I mean, to think that the government. I think the governments have got better things to do, especially with the problems that we've got, than to do stuff like that. But I thought it was, I just thought it was an interesting, listening to the pluses and, and on a couple of things, he said he was deeply sorry. And I honestly felt to myself, you're a talk show host if you're deeply sorry. And you know what, you should have thought. My dad used to have a famous saying, before you open your gob, put your brain into gear. And
most folks don't do that though.
And I feel that's part of the problem in the States is people are doing it for ratings. And what happens is it all gets misconstrued. It all gets, it's all for ratings, and there's a lot of conspiracy theorists, which really, it's a great shame to see America going that way, And there's an instance later on we're going to talk about, which is not adding to the conspiracy theory at the moment, which I'd like to talk about just very, very briefly.
Well, there's conspiracies all through, and my stance does not change on freedom of speech at all. I think you should be able to say whatever it is that you want to say, but I think when it comes to if it causes harm specifically to someone, then you're talking about a different deal, or it ends up causing you harm, because you got to be you're subjected to the consequences of whoever does what. But in this case, in the little bit that I do know of him calling that school shooting a hoax and all that stuff, that's a little bit over the top. Even if you had an inkling of it, I wouldn't have called it a hoax if you got people that have family members that have died. But nevertheless,
especially
it is what it is.
Especially children.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
anyway,
it's unfortunate.
So tell us what you put in our little system here. What you got?
So there's
this lady in California.
There's a lady that is actually from Houston who's driving in California.
Well, that explains it all.
So, well, who knows? And we'll see.
She's from Houston.
She's from Houston. She's in California, traveling nurse. And we're
saying this joking. We're not meaning.
Yeah, of course.
We're not.
Supposedly the
this
story
is for entertainment purposes only.
She was upset with a boyfriend and drove her vehicle into traffic going over 90 miles an hour. Now,
just 90.
That's it. Just 90. Now, I think that headline, it says 5 people, does it not, Everett?
It does.
Okay. So, 5 people that she killed, but the charge was for 6. Now, this is going to go a different direction. Just giving you a preface this comment. She drove head on into these people, which I think she was probably trying to kill herself. But just like any other drunk driver, most of the time they
she was drunk when this happened.
Yeah, they said she had been drinking. Yeah, she had been drinking and killed one kid, little kid, and 3 adults, I think. And one lady was pregnant. Now, the charge is for 6 counts of murder.
Because she was pregnant. I agree with that.
Okay. But in the state of California, I'm shifting.
Yeah. I don't know where you're going with this.
They don't recognize the life when it comes to abortion. But for this murder charge, they're considering this life inside of this woman. I found that to be very interesting.
No, and I agree with that. How much was she pregnant?
I don't know.
I think that's an important factor.
I don't know if they went into that. For me, I think it doesn't matter. Was she 6 weeks, 8 weeks, or whatever?
I think it does.
But the fact remains, she's being charged with that additional life. When I think you can go up. They've got some late term options in California that you can do. They're one of the few states that have the late term options for abortion. But that's neither here nor there. She is charged with murder of 6 individuals, and honestly, I think she will probably see some jail time for sure because it was reckless. I don't know what she was dealing with in her life. Go kill yourself. Don't just drive into traffic. I get you might be dealing with something emotional, trauma, but do we have to die?
Well, do other people have to die?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just go deal with it with yourself. If you
And this is wrong on so many levels. Obviously, one, she's a nurse.
man,
She's
so
there,
many levels.
She's there to sort of
She's there to
help other people
help
and other
in life.
people's problems.
Exactly. And I assure you, she probably.
I think that personally, me on the 6 counts, because I knew you was going there. I've known you long enough to know that. I'd like to know how far it was into the pregnancy, because I think that's something that should be.
So let's say she was in her first trimester, 3 months. 3 months pregnant.
My answer to you on that, I think, see, this is where I think the medical profession come into it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I personally have never had a baby. And this is where I feel that men are controlling women's rights. I think women doctors specifically are the ones that should answer these questions so we get the scientific facts. I agree, a life is a life, but there was an instance, what was the instance the other week with the 10-year-old? The 10-year-old in a state. There was, I was watching, I think it was John Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love watching. One is British and two, he's got a different angle on things. And he was basically saying that, if a kid has a brain condition, and and they know it's got a brain condition, what do they do? Is it on the doctor? Do they call an attorney? It's the doctor's not there to make the final decision, so it's not a medical issue. It becomes a legal issue. So it really does, add a whole new issue. I mean, I think it really needs to be reconsidered, the whole, because I think that there's so much. I mean, Kansas just rejected the abortion issue.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Kansas.
The state.
They voted against it. As it stands at the moment, I'm personally not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I just think that it's a woman's right, because it's the woman that's got to. If the woman makes a mistake by doing that, the woman's got to live with that for the rest of her life.
Okay, so I'll turn this question to you then, because I don't think you got to be a woman to have an opinion about this. I don't think that matters at all. But let's just say the woman has to have the baby. I get it. But as the man, let's say I don't want it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a financial abortion? So I just sign away my rights, and I'm no longer legally responsible for any care, any money, or anything for that child.
Can you have a legal abortion?
No, financially.
Just
Financially
so
separate myself from this child and this woman.
So
nothing to do with him.
So the young lady decides to carry on with it.
And she carries on. I can decide that I don't want anything to do with the kid.
Yep.
You should get what you can. As a man,
Right, so that's what I'm saying. As it stands at the moment with the
I don't know
road.
how to sound. It's gone. Something.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. As Roe versus Wade at the moment, I think it needs to be changed.
Okay.
It needs to be changed. It needs to be updated. Whatever. But I just don't think it makes any sense on so many levels. I really don't.
I just feel like that the whole argument about that, it's a woman. The woman has a right to choose for her body. Absolutely, 100%. I don't disagree with that. But when it comes to, it's almost like the man has nothing to say about it. If you want to have the kid, you get to have the kid. You get to have it. And if I don't want it, hold on, let me finish it. If I'm not on board, I still have to pay But if I do want you to have it, it still comes up to the woman. It's her choice. Her body, her choice. She gets to make it, even though I want the child.
Okay, let me hit you with the other way then. This has happened to me personally. Okay? Girlfriend of mine gets pregnant. All right? She does not want the baby, but
Okay.
I actually wanted the baby. I wanted to go through with it. All right? I supported her basically in whatever she wanted to do because obviously, I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to lose her.
Right.
But I would have been prepared to sign exactly the agreement that you had. Because I knew I would have had my family support at that time to support that baby.
Yeah. Now, I will say that, of course, you got the one-offs.
And that was in my 20s.
Oh, yeah. You've got the one-offs on that. I would say it's whoever's person. That's their choice. If you're asking my opinion, I'm pro-life, right?
Right.
That's what I think it is. But I know people are gonna have it. People that I know in my life have used abortion as contraception. It wasn't because there was something wrong with the baby.
But now there's different people trying to stop contraception, isn't there?
Well, here's the thing, and that's what's being pushed. But it's the idea is that federal aid being used for contraception. It's like, okay, if you want to do it, go ahead. There's no law against that, but we're not going to pay for it for you to do it. That's what the idea is, which I'm okay with that. If I want to go and get, I don't know, a forehead implant, you shouldn't be on the hook as a taxpayer to pay for my forehead implant if that's what I want. I think people need to be more responsible.
But that's where you and me definitely, healthcare, I think is, to me, I think government should pay for healthcare. I think it should be part of something. I think it should be driven in. I pay more payroll taxes over here than I do in Europe.
Well, I get it.
And then, but there's a basic healthcare that we get in Europe. I have to pay healthcare for my mother, and it's pretty expensive, on a monthly basis. But if it's cosmetic, there's different types of healthcare that aren't
uncovered, right?
Aren't covered. But I wouldn't say that contraceptives, to be perfectly honest, I don't know as a fact. It'd be interesting to find out. But in the UK, I don't know at what level, because there's different levels of drugs, whether you'd have to see a doctor, whether you can buy them on over the counter even. I know they do what they call like a 3-day drug or a 4-day drug, where you can take it up to 4 days after you think you're pregnant, and that's really rough on a young lady, really rough.
Well, I know here, condoms are given out free at most of these clinics, absolutely free, no charge. Even some places, birth control pills. Right. Even some birth control pills are given up. But people are so reckless out in the streets these days where they don't use them. They don't strap it up. So then, now I want to go get an abortion because I'm not ready to have a kid. It's selfish. It is. Be more responsible with your bodies. Put on a condom, and I will tell you this: if my body, my choice. If some of these women required a man to wear a condom before they entered them, then the issue's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Well, as a real estate agent, all I can say is just get them to write a contract.
Wow.
Get them to write a contract. Okay, here's the options. Here are check the above. Okay. Let's talk Serena Williams.
Speaking of babies, huh?
Why? She got a baby?
Oh, she got her little Olympia, a little baby girl. Have you seen her?
The baby?
Oh, she's not a baby now. She's young. I think Olympia.
Olympia?
Olympia is her name. Yeah.
Serena Williams, some beauty.
I think she's was it 39?
Yeah,
Or is
she's
that
almost
Williams?
40, almost 40.
And to the level of tennis that she's getting, I think she made a comment the other day that she feels it's getting, you know, a little bit too old for the game now. But she's an incredible sportswoman, incredible sportsperson, and she's very close with one of my other heroes, which is Lewis Hamilton.
So I didn't know until reading this article how deeply involved in the fashion industry she was. Some of the outfits that she wore on the court, I mean, they were strategic and planned because she was in this. She's been on the runway a couple of times for Vogue. You know, wearing. She has some specifically designed dresses for Versace that she wore, and at the Met Gala, and she's into the fashion stuff. So
Do you know
that you mentioned about coaching, but it might be something in the
but
fashion.
you know what's encouraging in a way about, and this isn't a negative comment I'm going to make.
You
All
said
right?
it isn't?
No, it's not what I'm going to say.
Okay, so that means it's about to be, right?
All right. No. She's not exactly your typical model as in size.
She's not.
But don't you
She
think
admits that.
But don't you think it's encouraging if she's on the runway?
And she has been. Absolutely.
and
I agree.
And so to me, from Serena's point of view, that's a whole new market to market to. You know,
Yeah.
it's a whole new approach. I think it's wonderful that she's got a kid on there. You know, I didn't realise that was her kid, Olympia, and that's a great name.
Absolutely. But yeah, she's gonna do great things. I don't know no matter what industry she chooses, you know, she's a winner. So she'll do well in it for sure. She will definitely do well in it.
But I think it's interesting to see how that will produce. But you know, her and Lewis Hamilton are into fashion.
I didn't know Lewis was.
They're big friends.
I knew they were friends.
I don't know if they're in business together. They may be.
Well, she's
they may have a
connected to,
business venture together.
She's connected to all of them with.
Oh no! I know what it was. When Chelsea Football Club was up for sale, Williams and Lewis Hamilton was going to get part of their fortune together, and they was producing a conglomerate to purchase it. I would have loved Lewis Hamilton to have purchased that club. You know, he's not having a great season at the moment, but that's because I think his team are letting him down. It's not Lewis Hamilton.
Right.
He's more talented than anybody on that circuit.
I know she's connected over there with the royal family and everything, because her and Meghan are friends. So it doesn't surprise me, you know, her being Meghan Markle. Doesn't surprise me that she's friends with Lewis Hamilton as well.
I don't think she's done much for the royal family. The anarchy, in England we call it hanger-oner.
Absolutely.
You know, come and bust up an institute that's been around for 1,000 years and try and change it. It's a little bit difficult.
Well, you know, that's a new thing to do, right? Whatever's old, let's break it and fix it and do
but
something
you know,
new.
a wheel is round. It's never changed.
Yeah.
There's some things that are just good the way they are, and the Queen's been very loyal.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir on that one.
92, she's 90, what is it, 92, 94 years old?
Yeah.
She's my hero. She shuts it up, she does a job. She was born for that job. She was Queen at 21.
Yeah.
And look at her now, absolutely amazing, 70 years later. Okay. Let's go on to this article with the houses, James. Listing saw. What's your feeling on this?
Well, it was inevitable, right? I don't think anyone expected it to be this quick, but it was definitely inevitable for it to happen, because
Can you pull the article up?
people are.
What's that?
Which one was it again?
Listing saw.
Listing sold.
Yeah, it was a Bloomberg article of the home inventory. The rates going up so fast as they did, it was inevitable. It was going to happen. We didn't think it'd be so fast, but
Bloomberg.com
Yeah.
news. It's not.
it's in Discord.
Yeah.
If we need to refresh it. Here, I put it. It's the latest one in there in the Discord.
I think it got
That's the one.
There you go. Anywho, yeah. So it was going to happen. Rates go up. People decide they're going to wait, and because they, of course, waiting for the market the bubble to burst, which we know there is no bubble.
Well,
So that's where we are now.
well, I don't think we are, and I'll tell you why. Recently, the rates dropped. Correct.
Hmm.
And apparently, it was reported yesterday that now the market's softening.
Oh, they just reported it?
Late last night.
They
it was
just reported
Is that correct? The rates dropped yesterday?
No, well, they've been down. I think they put out an average, and yesterday was the first average that across the board, where it was kind of been where it was like a few
CPI or
consecutive
something
weeks,
they brought out.
consecutive weeks of a decrease in it. So still,
And
higher
reckon
than what they've
they
been.
reckon employment's up. It was
Yeah.
500,000. Employment was up yesterday. I think it was reported. Then they reckon there's inflation wasn't as high
Hmm.
as they anticipated it to be.
Well, you and I both know that it can't stay a seller's market all the time. It can't. I know people like to hear that, but it can't
But
stay there forever.
I'm just surprised that I'm just surprised at this point that it's stayed as long as it has.
I'm not. We have that what the young ones call FOMO, that fear of missing out. Everybody's running to get it.
I was listening to an article yesterday, and they were saying millennials now are starting to have children. So millennials are at the point where what they're looking at doing is possibly buying their first house.
That's true. Because most millennials.
See, I've been looking at. I really have been looking at the data from a lot of different sources, and that's one of the sources that they were saying, and that was I believe it was on Yahoo Finance, and it was it wasn't. It was on Yahoo Finance in the morning when they come on, and they 8 o'clock every morning.
Oh, the broadcast.
Yeah, it helps me wake up in the morning, and it was basically saying that, millennials are starting to have children, and they're getting to the point where they need houses, and they reckon they're around 4.5 million short of what we need at the moment. But there's signs of inflation coming down, but there's signs not of inflation being down where we need them to be.
Oh yeah, it's definitely not down where we need it to be. Not yet.
But it's and obviously the two big factors with inflation is gas and food.
Mm-hmm.
Gas has come down. What's it come down? Nearly $1.
It got below $4 yesterday.
Which is good news.
Actually, I went to the gas station today. It was up. The pump was about $3.46 for a gallon.
Yep.
consider that
I
okay.
got gas yesterday for $3.76, which has been the first time in a long time.
It's still high though. Don't get it twisted. It's still $2 more than what it was before this. Your boy got in there, but
Yeah, but
it's neither here nor there.
But it's always been cheap over here. It
Yeah.
really has. It's always.
Oh yeah, in comparison for
in
sure.
comparison to what it is in Europe.
Yeah.
I still think that America needs to get over to electric cars, Be be interesting to see, quite honestly, how long that will take, because it can't happen overnight.
Oh yeah, most definitely can't happen overnight.
People want it to happen. There's going to be trips along the way, especially for Mr.
It will.
Mr. Tesla himself.
Speaking of switching over, nice segue. Your boy, he unloaded about $7 billion, excuse me, was it billion in shares. And we're looking to see how that's going to have an effect on the market. I mean, it's still up today, 2-3, almost 3%. But him selling off, I think he's trying to kind of prop himself up for this whole Twitter war. Because did you see that he came out and said there was only about 16 million accounts that were real?
No, but I'm upset with Elon Musk.
I
He sells 7 billion
7 billion.
Tesla stock shares, and he didn't give me one.
No, not even one. But they did agree on the 24th. They're doing the
split.
3-1.
But you've got to get your
Stock
shares
split.
in by the 17th.
Yeah, you got to get them in
So
there.
you've got to get them in a week before to qualify,
Yeah.
and then they do the 3-1 split. Now, what do you think is going to happen with them? We do not give financial advice, but what's your opinion? What's going to happen? Because I've got my opinion what I think is going to happen.
I think you'll see
So there'll be a split on the 24th.
on the 24th. It'll split
Times 3.
3. Yep. I think it'll drop, and I think it'll bounce back very quickly.
Oh, really? See,
That's
I
what I
think the
think.
opposite.
You think it'll go up and then drop? It may.
Because I think what people will do is
Try to get in at
they'll
the lower
take
price.
the profits. They'll take the profits, all right, as they go up, and then I think they'll short it out and they'll take it at the bottom
It
end.
Could.
That's what happened last time. But
So you'll see what happens if either one of us is right on the 24th. I'll be coming back, just getting back from out of town. But that's on the 24th. If you're not in,
so we're away for a couple of weeks then. Because
yeah, we will be away for a little bit. Absolutely.
So I'm moving my daughter into college tomorrow. So she's moving into a house over in St. Marcus.
You will be missed up in those 2 weeks, James. You will.
Let's see.
Take pictures.
So how many actual accounts have they got?
Well, he said less than 16 million were actually real. So how many they have? Let me see. How many Twitter? So it says it has approximately 450 million users. But he said only 16 million were real. How he got to that data or that number, that's crazy.
Because Twitter.
See where your mind is.
No. I've been watching too much Jeff Dunham. So
Guy.
Twitter have basically said if the deal doesn't go through, is what, $1 billion it's going to cost to get out of the deal.
Yeah, some kind of fine or something.
It's like $1 billion.
But all he really wanted was to find out how many accounts are there. And they weren't sharing that information before.
Well, they will in court.
I'll tell you what, though, I think they're kind of falling. I mean, Twitter's still out there, but man, it's not the most popular one anymore. There's other ones coming up on the horizon. So,
Such as?
well, of course, you got your TikTok that's on. A lot of the video features that were available on Twitter to be able to put videos. A lot of streaming platforms are allowing that now. Spotify's allowing video now. Of course, YouTube's never going anywhere. I think it'll always be a platform. But with some of the functions that Facebook are adding in, they're competing with them. So it's a tough space to be in a social media software developer, that is. And Elon Musk isn't helping. He definitely isn't helping with giving everyone a level of comfort and knowing that all is well. But
Because today Tesla's up 2.5 and Twitter's down 3. No, Twitter's up 3.6. But yesterday was a tough day. On the market yesterday, Tesla was a very, very tough day.
oh yeah,
So that was, And then let's talk about the scammer. Come on.
man. Okay, so I mean, I don't know how heartless you have to be to steal from a kid, but this guy went to this lemonade stand and bought a bunch of snacks and goodies from this young man and gave him $100 bill. Now, the young man in the article says that it didn't feel quite right. It felt kind of off. So he took it down to the gas station there and to try to, see what's off. And the guy told him, "Hey, man, you got scammed, buddy. It's not real." So that young man lost about $20 worth of snacks, and he gave the guy $80 cash, which is the money he was going to use to seed the rest of the business. So yeah, he kind of got. He learned.
What state was this in?
This is in. It was in Evans. Hold on.
Evanston.
I
That's
thought they said
Chicago.
Evanston.
Evanston's near Chicago.
Chicago. I thought that's
I
what he
lived
said.
in Evanston.
No, Everett, Washington. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Everett, Washington is where it is.
I have my own city.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So of course, people started feeling bad for him, and started a GoFundMe for the young man.
And now the guy's got 25
Oh
grand.
man, he's got over 25 grand in there. At least that's when I looked this morning. I put that link in there too, Everett, to see what the balance is. But yeah, they were looking to just get $250 for him, and man, he's got like 100 times that, man. So
25 grand, 410.
yes. So I don't know what he's gonna do. Of course, GoFundMe will get a little bit of that money, but shoot, even if he walks away with 20 grand, he can
I hope
open
he goes
up.
to his college fund. That's all I do.
Right?
That would be the smart thing, right?
It would be the smart thing.
Would be the smart thing.
Or investing in Tesla shares.
That's not the so smart thing.
He's got to
I'm
do
telling
it.
you, it's a smart thing to do. Tesla's the way to go. I like Tesla.
I need to get I've been in the red here, my doggone self. So
You have?
I have been. I'm getting some of my
What have you
gains
been- What have
back.
you been putting your stuff in?
What's that?
I'm 30% up on Tesla.
Uh,
With what I.
oh yeah, well, you're winning because it got down for a while.
When I went in, when I did, I'm 30% up.
All right. Maybe I should get some of my money and invest some of that when Stephen pulls in, because
That's just. I only bought when it was at the bottom.
I'm up a few $100 today, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
It's the split that I'm looking forward to.
Well, cool, man. That's
All right, let's talk about Lara Trump. I know you're looking forward, James. I can see it written all over your
Nope.
face. You are looking forward to talk about this.
you're the Trump guy, man.
With the FBI, invading Donald Trump's secrecy at Mar-a-Lago.
Mum's the word for me, man.
What's that supposed to mean?
I think it's all baloney.
You think it's all baloney?
I don't think anything gonna come from it at all. It's a distraction, and anything they can try to do to keep him from running for president, I think they'll try to do that. If they'll go into an ex-president's home, what keeps him out of
Do you know
our
this
home?
is the second time this has happened at Mar-a-Lago? There's 15 boxes that
It doesn't
shouldn't
surprise
have joined him from the White House. Do you know this is the second time?
Okay. Why didn't the FBI go in Hillary Clinton's house when she had those servers at her house? And,
If it happens, if
All that.
the same thing is with Hillary Clinton, then I think they should go to Hillary Clinton's
but
house.
they didn't, though.
You know. And
That's all I'm saying. It seems to be one-sided.
you see, I don't think it is. I don't think it is because just the way that the kickback is anybody that's guilty of something. It's the way at times they react to it.
It amazes me how much we still talk about Donald Trump, and he is no longer the president. The media, you can't go a day where they're talking about Donald Trump. It's like, why are we still talking about this? If you want him to be irrelevant, stop talking about him.
I would definitely say Donald Trump will definitely go down in history as the most memorable president.
Stop bringing him up.
Well, but here's the issue. Let me ask you a question. There was, to get a warrant to enter a residence, you have to have probable cause. Okay, you have to have a reason. Supposedly, they have a number of agents that have had affidavits to say that this is at Mar-a-Lago. All right, that's how they managed to get, and then that has to be presented to a judge who was elected by Mr. Trump.
Obama.
No.
It was.
No, it wasn't.
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 The guy that
No, it
gave
was
the
not.
warrant.
No, it
was
was
an
not.
Obama appointee.
No, it was not.
It was.
It was not. It was not. The
Obama
person. No, it was not. The person that issued the warrant and the judge was elected by Donald Trump in 2017.
Where is that?
I'm getting it for you now.
Oh, and Donald Trump doesn't elect any judges.
Well, he was appointed by Donald Trump. He was appointed in 2017 by Donald Trump.
Where's that at? Where does it say that?
I can't find it at the moment. But he was. He was appointed.
Oh, okay. I just want to see where.
And then, all right, so appointed by, I'm not bothered personally whether they are Republicans. And it was interesting because I watched Fox News last night, and Fox News was saying, well, you know, their attitude was, well, you know, your freedom, and anybody that's, you know, the governments are coming after you and they're going to raid your house and da da da. Well, do you know what my answer is to that? If you've got 15 boxes that you shouldn't have, and they should be in the White House or they should be in the archives or whatever, then that's fine. Come and look at the house. Come and take them from the house. Anybody.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. I don't think anything will come from it.
It's a waste of time because you don't pay attention to it.
No, it's a waste
And
of time because it is a waste
America
of
is an
time.
empire that if it's not managed, I'm telling you, it's coming to an end.
It's a waste because there's nothing going to come of it. There's many more issues that we could be dealing with than this crap because it has no bearing on anything. Nothing's going to come from it. Mark my word.
Well, let me hit you with another point then. We had a similar issue where our prime minister wasn't behaving in a way behaving to a prime minister. How long did he last?
You had what?
In the UK. Remember Boris Johnson? We was talking about this the other day. Remember, he had a party in the COVID times, and he wasn't behaving like he should have done on different things.
Oh yeah, that was.
How long did he last?
I don't know how long it's been going. I hadn't
He
been
was
paying
out
attention
completely.
until you brought it up.
He was, yeah. His own party voted him out. They didn't mess about it. 38 of his own politicians got him out. I'll find that and I'll bring it up for next time.
But that government is completely run different than here. Ours is not the democracy that we claim it to be, because it isn't. It isn't at all.
Why is that?
Well, because it's not a democracy. We're a republic.
Okay, so tell me what the difference is.
Democracy is
tells
actually
me we're a
run
democracy.
and democracy is actually run and it's the people who make the choices of who's going to be representing them, and the elected officials do what the people want them to do. With us, the republic, they're representatives of what the people should want and what they should do, but they don't. They can do. We can go across party lines, and you and I can kind of make our own side deal. The people, they elected me in a position, and we make the decision on what it's going to be.
So which system do you think is better for everybody?
If you truly want to get what the people want, it's a democracy.
I agree. Was the America originally started as a democracy?
You say, was it?
Uh-huh.
No, it was a republic.
It was a republic.
Under the republic for which it stands, one nation under God. That's what we are.
And I understand that. I believe you do. So, but the point I'm trying to say is, do you think most people in the country think it's a democracy?
They do. That's what people were taught. But folks don't do their research to understand and realize what a democracy is versus what we live in, which is a republic.
That's why I'm going through it now.
Yeah.
And getting an expert to explain it to me.
We don't have.
So basically, with a republic, the difference is we elect people to represent us.
For the republic.
Yes.
For a republic.
Yeah. And with the democracy, we still.
That's the true for the people by the people. That's the true for the people by the people. A democracy.
But we still elect people and have them in parliament.
You do, but you can get them out too.
Oh yeah.
You can get them freaking out of there, like they did. Get them out of there. It ain't happened. And you got the extra parties. See,
but you see, this is the part that I don't understand. You have term limits.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
What, you don't have term limits?
No. Explain that one.
Do we though? Because you can get someone out. So what would end someone's reign? They kick them out, or
They get fired?
What's that?
Like, do they even get fired?
They have an ethics committee, but the ethics committee has some.
Messed up conceptions?
No, they have some poke.
Ooh.
I'll give you an example. Around 10 years ago, there was a group of MPs that was taking government money and side channeling money to various organisations and for their own little hideaways, for their little intimate nights with different individuals. The English people did not vote them people back, plus they got them out.
they got them out of there?
Yeah. So that's the part that I find interesting, is with what you said and how you described the system that we have, that you have term limits.
We do have term limits per se, right? But it depends on the position, right? Because Supreme Court, U.S. Supreme Court, lifetime appointed. There is no term limit. Presidents, you can do 2 or whatever. As a congressperson or whatever, you can be in there forever, for your whole freaking life, as long as you're getting reelected. And that's a lot of the times what happens. That's why you have Nancy Pelosi, who's 163 years old, still being the Speaker of the House.
I still want to know what happened to her husband's DUI.
Oh, we're not going to hear about that.
Well, we should do.
No, you're not going to hear about that.
I want to hear about that. I'll find out about that.
Oh, I did find Bruce Reinhardt, the judge, stand corrected. He was appointed, but he was an Obama supporter. So he was appointed by Trump, but he was an Obama supporter. He donated to his campaign, I guess whenever he got into office or whatever. So
there you go.
Nevertheless.
But No, interesting discussion today.
Yeah, man. We'll kind of see what happens with the market. I'm going to try to unplug completely next week.
Do you know what I want to? Another part that I find interesting, and I've got to talk about this because this was brought up on Yahoo Finance today. This real strange. They did the same thing to Giuliani last year. Remember? They went into his offices.
Oh yeah, I remember
all the
that.
documentation. We didn't hear anything at all about it. We heard nothing about
Not much at all. I remember when it happened, but
what did you hear about it?
when that had happened, that was it.
But nothing.
Nothing came of
They
it.
didn't find anything or whatever. Now they've gone to Mar-a-Lago. All right. My honest feeling is, are the two related? Are the two, just time wasting like you? I don't think so. Well, at least I hope not. But what makes me concerned is, you've got the civil service, the FBI, and that's the part that I think is so funny at the moment. You've got Taylor Greene, nutcase Tyler Greene, saying defund the FBI. All these people were turning round and saying that the Democrats wanted to defund the police, and we support our troops. And now they're going on there. Marjorie Taylor Greene or whatever it is? She turned around. She did a thing yesterday, which was an American flag upside down. All these people were coming up and basically saying, "Did you go? Put defund FBI."
Well, see, here's for me, it gets so sickening that we are so
really?
segmented in. We can't even come together as a country. I know we're the laughing stock in other.
We
other
are the
nations.
laughing stock. That's what Americans don't
It's
get.
like we're the laughing stock. We can't even get our stuff together.
Putting defund the FBI and let's see what comes in.
Here it is. Let me put this. She tweets an upside down.
And look at that.
Oh, here's the photo here. Let me put it in.
And all that happens is, the likes of all our enemies just use this as
I'll just
fodder.
put it in the Discord then.
They just use it as cannon fodder.
Yeah.
They just use this as cannon fodder and basically say, is this really what you want?
And clearly so.
If you scroll down about half, where you'll see there it is.
Yep. An upside down American flag.
I don't know. It's a different look. It's still the United States flag. I mean, no matter how she
There
turns
wasn't
it.
just her. There was quite a few. Another one was, what's his McCarthy? What's his name? McCarthy, whatever his name is.
I know what you're talking about.
As you can tell, I don't really pay much attention to too much politics, but I just think stuff like this is funny.
It is. Is it?
Pure insanity of it.
Was it Kevin McCarthy?
Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin
there you go.
McCarthy.
There's another one. Mitch McConnell was another one. Hey, is there any replies to that? Can you go down to that and can we read some of the replies on that? Just as
Oh, yeah. Let's go.
You have to click. Yeah.
let's just see what some of the replies were. Just
Okay, yeah. There you go.
Cry more.
what does it say?
Cry more.
That's
The
the
first.
number one comment on top.
Innocent ex-presidents don't get their homes raided. When will Hunter Biden?
Be rated.
And I'm believe you me, I thought that as well.
Only president.
If there's probable cause, I'm okay with that. The toughest gay in American political.
The toughest what?
The toughest day.
Oh, day.
Oh. The toughest
Oh,
guy.
the toughest guy. Okay.
He said the toughest
I know
gay.
he comes with my glasses today. I left my glasses at work.
I'm sorry, I don't even see
Yeah, the toughest guy in American politics. That's what it says.
If you still think this is about some records for the National Archives, bless your heart.
That's got to be a Southern comment. We bless your heart.
Only people from the South say bless your heart.
I'll give you 87,000.
It said
reasons.
Trump should have kept a backup of Hunter Biden's hard drive in his safe since the FBI hasn't been able to locate it yet. Man, they ain't gonna find nothing with that either.
It's about the difference.
Anyway.
Oh well. It was a pleasure.
Another week in the life.
Another week in the life, sir. Yeah, so we'll be away for a couple of weeks, huh?
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves. Shoot, we might just pick back up after Labor Day.
What do you mean? Just there's me moving furniture, and there's you cruising on a ship.
Hey, man. We all have our own. You pick your own
When
poison.
I finish the day today, I've got to go to Home Depot to buy one of their moving straps.
Pick your poison, man.
Anyway.
All right, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. Anyway, all right. You take care. Have a good day.
All right.
Be blessed. All right.